Hi, my name is Julie Christiansen, and I'm the principal therapist at Spa for the Soul, Julie Christiansen Counseling and Psychotherapy. So I'm going to talk a little bit today about relationships, and I'm going to show you one of the tools that I use in therapy, and that tool is this right here, and it's called Sternberg's Triarchic Theory of Love. So what it does is it shows us the different aspects of relationship and how they overlap and intersect in order for us to have a healthy relationship. So this blue section here we'll call commitment. Okay, so this is the spiritual connection that we have with the people in our lives. And so if you have a measure of long-lasting commitment to that person, that's important in a relationship, right? Otherwise, if you don't have commitment, there's going to be something missing. There's a lack of trust there. Over here we have intimacy. This is the mind connection that we have. Intimacy is really important too, because if we don't have intimacy, this is where trust begins. You know, when we decide whether or not we like someone and we want to get to know that person better, the things we have in common with a person, these all fall under the category of intimacy. And then the purple circle is the body or the passion. And so in a loving relationship, in a partnership, in a marriage, common law relationship, however you want to call it, there has to be some passion as well. There has to be some physical attraction, and physical attraction can change over time, but it still needs to be existent in a relationship. So if all we have is intimacy, then what you have is a relationship where you like a person. So this is a friendship, okay? So, you know, or a mild acquaintance. I know this person, we get along well, I like them, but I'm not committed to them in any way, and I certainly am not attracted to them physically. So I just like them, okay? And if all there is physical passion, but I don't really like you and I'm not committed to you, then what I have is infatuation. Now, if we have commitment, and this happens a lot in relationships where people stay together because of the kids, or they stay together out of convenience. They're committed to each other, but they don't really like each other anymore, and there's no more physical attraction, there's no connection between them physically, then what they have is empty love. Now, in each of these situations, that's not an ideal setup for a relationship, and certainly not one that's going to succeed over the long term. Now, if we just have intimacy and commitment, what we have is called companionate love. So we're friends, and we're friends for the long haul. We're BFFs, okay? That's companionate love. If all I have is liking and passion, or intimacy and passion, but no commitment, then what we have is romantic love. That's lovely. This is where love grows, hopefully, when we add commitment over the long term. If all we have is commitment and passion, but we have no intimacy, we don't talk to each other, we don't really trust each other. This is actually hard to pull off, by the way. Then what you have is something called fatuous love. I don't personally think that this occurs very much, because I don't see how it is that one can make love with someone when they don't trust them. That's a hard thing to achieve. So typically, in my experience anyways, in relationship counseling, when intimacy disappears, so does the passion. The commitment might stay, but you don't like each other and you tend not to want to have sex with each other. That's just the rugged truth of it, right? But here's the thing. When we have commitment and we have intimacy and we have passion, and those three areas overlap, that's when you hit the sweet spot and you get consummate love. So when you have consummate love, that is a blending of intimacy, trust, connection in terms of our minds and our intellects and those sorts of things, and the things that we have in common, with the physical attraction and a willingness to stay committed. This is the sweet spot of relationships. In my experience, what happens in relationships is that people stop talking to each other. And so they lose out on those elements of intimacy that are not physical. And if there is a trust that is broken or betrayed, it's very hard to maintain the physical aspects of the relationship. And so if the intimacy goes and the passion dies and all that's left is commitment, people find it very hard then to stay together. So here at Spot for the Soul, one of the things that we offer in our toolkit of counseling services is relationships counseling. And so if you're going to come to us about your relationship, whether that is a marriage relationship or a common law relationship or a long-term partnership or a failed friendship even, we're probably going to talk to you about this, and we're going to explore the different areas of the relationship where things might have gone wrong and see whether or not there is an underlying commitment for you to work on those things to repair them. But we make no promises, of course. We're not here to fix your marriage. We're here to help you fix your marriage if that's what you want to do. But at the end of the day, our therapists are all skilled in relationship counseling, and we are happy to help you. So if you have any questions or concerns about your relationship and you just want to maybe run those ideas along someone who's a non-invested third party, by all means, come on into Spot for the Soul, sit down with one of our therapists for a half an hour and have a brief conversation. And if you decide that you do want to go ahead and work on your relationship, we're absolutely happy to help you do that. So give us a call, 905-409-1869 at Spot for the Soul.